There he is.
To achieve the true liberation of Doge, one must destroy the social order which crucifies us all, and this may only be done by buying and trading dog coins.
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
Bravo.
are we using the Bark chat or Agora chat for this one, or the general chat? Because I will be dropping the link.
You know what? We can just probably keep it kind of easy and just if you DM me the link, I can just drop it in announcements.
Okay, that's perfect. So let me
so that everyone can just check out the announcements.
All right.
Chat to click on.
Everybody goes to general chat anyways, even though we have the Agora chat.
Yeah, we kind of default there. All right.
Yeah. But I don't want this link to be buried in general chat. So if we can put it in a read-only channel, then everybody will be able to see it. So let me just.
Doge King as a special announcement is kind of what we're doing here.
Okay, are we ready, or do you guys want to wait for more people to join? What do you guys think?
I just dropped it in.
All right, announcements here. Okay, so quick backstory on this, because I think it is a kind of a historical event for our community. So my first introduction of Paco was actually shortly after I joined the Doge community. You guys were running this meme contest, and it was like submit 2 memes or something like that, and then a week one of them is going to get chosen. And I remember looking at the memes, I'm like cracking up and stuff. And I realized one name kept popping up, and it was Paco. And I was at first thinking, like, is he like grabbing these memes from somewhere and just reposting them? And then it like dawned on me that he was actually creating these memes. He created like something like 40 memes in, I think, 2 days. And I was like, wow, this guy's special. This is really interesting. Like, I'm kind of blown away because they were super high quality memes from my perspective too. And shortly after that, I think it was 1 or 2 weeks later, we were on a community call. And that's when Paco gave his "It's True" speech. And I like to call it that because it actually, like, I really like replayed in my mind a few times as just this like beautiful, well planned out, well executed speech. And I remember when he was giving that speech, everyone was like cheering in the general chat, like, "It's true." And he would get to the next point. Everyone would say, "It's true, it's true." And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I feel like I'm almost like on fire or electric. So as we were getting to the end of that conversation, Japes was like, hey, I want to get a custom Doge General of Paco. And we actually, so the way Doge General works is we have Polygon Doge Generals, which are very cheap, so that anyone that wants one can just buy one. Or if you don't have $20, you can DM me and I'll send you one for free. I want anyone that wants access to our community or join us to be able to do that regardless of how much money they have. But we do have like premium generals, quote unquote, which are a little more expensive. And if you buy one, you get a commissioned work, which we'll do and animate and add audio and stuff like that. So Japes took us up on that offer and asked to commission a general of Paco. And I DM'd Paco afterwards, and basically he comes up with this really cool painting to create. And it's a speech from Pericles. It's a Pericles' funeral oration. So the Peloponnesian War was a massive war between Athens and Sparta in the 5th century BC, and it went on for like 80 years. And at one point during that war, Pericles, who is like kind of like a philosopher, gives this speech to reinvigorate the Athenians to continue fighting against the Spartans. So Paco chose that speech, and he wanted a bunch of the members of the community in. I think one thing that is also impressed me about Paco is he's always thinking about everyone else first. And I think that's just like this amazing quality and trait that's very rare, but it's also very impressive. And I think we should take note of it when we see it. He was thinking of everyone else first. So he wanted to make sure everyone was included in the NFT. He sent me some names of people who've been very involved in the project. We ended up kind of settling on 10 people to be included. And the NFT, as you'll see in a second, is basically Paco in front of everyone giving that speech, and everyone's shaking their head saying, like, it's true. Okay. So if you go to the announcement, let me see where that's at. 1 second. So yeah, if you go to the announcement, you'll see the link in OpenSea. Follow that. It's a really high quality image too. The original was pretty low quality, but we used a cool AI tool to enhance it as well. So full screen it, turn on the audio, And let's just listen through one loop of it together right now. Ready? Let's go.
I don't hear it yet. Are you playing it?
No, you got to play it. You got to play
it individually.
Yep.
Individually. Okay. Okay.
That's true. A bridge to fractional. No, is Dog owning a part of the Doge meme? That's true. Is Dog the original Doge NFT? That's true.
We're having a silent disco right now.
That's true. A bridge to fractional NFTs in general. That's true. A better Mona Lisa. That's true. A backed meme token. No, that's true. A fungible, non-fungible meme. That's true. A digital meme estate. That's also true. More Doge than Dogecoin. No, that's true. A better Shiba Inu. That's true. A representation of metaverse culture. That's true. Meme coins 2.0. That's true.
All right. So I think we had enough time to listen through one loop there.
That's true.
I really like the
NFT.
So good. Thank you. Yeah, I really like the NFT a lot. It just really reminds me of that moment in our Discord when we were all just kind of hanging out and Paco just drops this like really dope speech for all of us. And I think one of the things that resonates with me is that like even though we share a lot of memes and jokes and we're having fun and like kidding around most of the time, it's like this community has actually made a huge impact. I think one of the things that like we have to keep kind of remembering is like, wow, like the dog community just donated $1 million to save the children. Like that's huge. Like that's a massive thing that's going to impact thousands of people's lives. And I think we should be incredibly proud to have also like someone like Paco as a member in our community, because I think he exhibits a lot of the best traits that kind of Doge and the dog community support. So I just wanted to share that and kind of give a nod to Paco. It was really fun working with you on this NFT. I always enjoy learning about new historical events, but I think one of the fun things I got to do on this one was then also talk to everybody, collecting their profile picture, explaining to them what we're doing and that type of stuff. That was also a really cool opportunity for me. So thank you, Paco.
Thank you, Paco.
Thank you, Paco. Yeah, that NFT, I already just love the art, and just it was really amusing. And then as soon as I clicked on the audio, it was just it brought it to a whole other level. So now is Paco not only immortalized by the blockchain, but his speeches too, and that's like it's pretty amazing.
Yep, pretty cool. So I'm thinking one idea is I kind of want to maybe over time we can take snapshots and stuff like this. So even though like we're having fun and we're just chilling a lot, it's like we should really take note of this stuff because it's very interesting and I think very impactful. So yeah, thanks everybody, and thank you for this opportunity. I don't know if Japes is on the call, but I do appreciate it. He was the guy that kind of kickstarted this, so he deserves a little credit as well.
And of course, if he's not, yeah, we'll pass your regards. But yeah, thanks for putting this together. And yeah, I would love to see more, Doge lore or Doge NFT lore being, into the collection. So I guess we'll wait until the next epic speech, from someone. So
just wait like 20 minutes, and Paco will just drop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Take care. I'll be here. I'll just dip out off the stage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That was
incredible.
Thank you. Doge King, also another Doge priest, I think, in the community.
Yeah. All hail the Doge King.
When you make an entrance like that, with your own little mini speech, I think.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I don't have the oration skills of Paco, but I do my best.
You're definitely a good runner-up.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, friend. Yeah. Oh, one thing to also bring up is we do have a Poap. So let me just give that to the people. Again, the DGen app is just, it's still under Discord jail. Can't give you DMs right now. So we did the Poap website claim again. So it's poap.website / and then the secret phrase is Doge meme God, which is all one word, lowercase. And we all know what Doge meme God is said backwards. So I hope you got that. We'll say it again, maybe once or twice later in the call. But Doge meme God is the secret phrase for the Poap URL. And oh yeah, and thanks to our community friend CryptoRado for putting this design together. He actually made 2 designs at the beginning. One we decided to go with like the pink fractal like a month or 2 ago for a community call, and we're going with the funny yellow dog fractal for this one. So thanks again, CryptoRado. Yeah, appreciate it.
There's Paco.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, on that topic, right? I guess this would be the time to announce this. On Sunday, around this time, I'm going to be hosting, another, not really speech, but I guess a presentation where the topic would be the founding of the Doge religion. So definitely tune in if you're a regular Price Talk chatter. And yeah, let's explore some cool ideas about Doge and its future, because we hold it. So yeah, Sunday about this time.
Wow, man, brother. Yeah, I would think at this point, anyone who's in here has been in the server for a long time. OGs, especially if you've been in Price Talk, you're definitely a schizo and a fanatic. So yeah, I think it's time to start spreading our gospel a little bit more.
I'm looking forward to that. Well, maybe I could kick off on some things. So, I mean, one thing, we had a really wonderful pilgrimage to we've had a couple pilgrimages to one in the Dog Temple, the reopening of the Dog Temple, which I'm very excited about. And it's been, that channel in Discord has been quite exciting over the last week. So I encourage everyone to go there and send their praises to the Doge God. And then also, Bubba and I, Bubba discovered another Doge temple, like a mini metaverse, a microverse temple that was pretty cool. I think we dropped the link in the Dog Temple, but we're looking at trying to like do something more with them. They kind of created this little like Doge idol, like big golden idol, and like all these cool aspects of it. And it was a pretty cool like microverse thing. Kind of reminded me actually like of the Doge King's gallery of all the different Doge emperors. I think that it's like, it was kind of reminiscent of that. But you could also like sit down and have talks. And I was like, we were talking to them, maybe we can get like next community call in there, where you can like walk around in this kind of microverse in the Doge Temple. Like we could also have like a talk. I think they're tweaking some things, so it could be set up more as like a stage. But that was kind of a fun thing earlier in the week, as we were kind of coming off of the Pleaser retreat and thinking and doing a dog workshop out there and thinking about, how do we just get crazier, weirder, wackier, more absurd with the dog community. And I think we had kind of 2 key takeaways. I think in the VIP channel, we dropped the slides. So, I think it's if you guys ever want to, access the Citadel and the fellowship of the Doge, like we basically we'll drop some alpha in that channel, and all you have to do is hold 16969 dog to get in there, and then verify on Collabland. But basically, the takeaways were, we want to continue. I think step 1 is like, continuing to find ways to empower the community to kind of build this next level of Doge. Spreading the Doge gospel was like a very popular aspect of it. People got really excited when they imagined like Doge missionaries all around the world, wearing Doge heads and robes and like going to dog parks or crypto events and things like that, and just getting like really, really weird and super like meta religious around it. And then I think like, there's the other key part is like continuing to build a path to full community ownership. And that's probably, that I think, decentralization takes a bit longer. We've already cut our teeth a bit with Snapshot and starting to build some governance in. I think we still need to continue to build more like clarity and alignment around how we can do this over time. And, and we want to still continue to find ways to empower and bring more community members, to be leaders within the community. So I think with that too, there's kind of a call to action. Like if you haven't already like filled out the community talent pool form, I think that would be like one way to get more involved, or just like DM any of us, Bubba, Paco, or I. And, we're always looking to continue to build relationships with people in the community, understand like your what you like to do, your skill sets. We're looking at bringing on some more mods here soon, in kind of a lightweight format. So it's not, nothing like full time, just like, a little more support on that side of things. So Paco can sleep sometimes. And so I think there's lots of channels that we're going to continue to try to open up to get people, more involved and be able to lead in different aspects of the community. So that's a little bit of the update on the retreat, and it's pretty high level. But like I said, if you want to get the full slides, you can always hop into the VIP room for just holding 16969 dogs. And you can get a lot more alpha and dog team updates that we share there every week.
Yeah, of course. Did you mention about the AMA channel that we are going to be setting up as well?
Yeah, good call. Yeah. So also had a great time hanging out with Redphone and some of the other PleasrDAO members. And I know we always like talk about how, try to build a closer bond with Pleaser and the dog project. And so we're looking at ways that we can to open up like kind of an AMA of sorts channel. Might be something that can be like, maybe it's not live, but like, everybody submits questions and then we share them share them with the person or the DAO member over the week. And then they have time to kind of answer like 10 questions. And then we'll build up this like AMA channel that might be read only, but like, then you can kind of like, be able to go back and reference like, and learn more about the different like, PleasrDAO members, or it could be other people in the Web3 world. And so Redphone has been very, open about being the first. And so we'll probably, I guess I'm not sure exactly how we're going to accept questions yet, but we basically want questions for Redphone is because he'll be the first AMA over like this next week.
Yeah, which will be fun. Yeah, we're still deciding exactly how questions will be submitted, but the best ones will then be dropped into a read-only channel for Redphone to be able to take the time to answer them. Also, it just seems like the easiest way for a lot of Pleaser members that either want to stay anonymous or just don't have like the time to block out a full hour or half hour for a call AMA, but rather just takes the time to every now and then to answer a question. But for the fact that everyone will be able to have read history into the thread, especially if there's like more and more AMAs that go on, could be really fun and add a lot of value as to the Pleaser members, and just anything that you wanted to pick their brains about with dog, Pleaser, DAO, just state of the market, state of mind. I think it's gonna be cool. And Redphone will definitely be a good one to kick it off. Very excited for it. Yeah. So like, and other things about that Dog Temple. We just kind of came across this this microverse that was already built out. That was like a temple for Doge. And it's like a small team that's like building out other microverses, and they already had this website built out. This really cool NFT collection that has like amazing art in it. Um, and we reached out and we just said, because also what was kind of cool was that it wasn't Dogecoin related; it actually was just Doge related. And we reached out and we were like, hey, can we talk a little bit? And we literally just had the most impromptu meeting in the temple. Like we just sat around this table and started talking, and they just seemed like really excited that we wanted to figure out like how we can kind of bring them into the community, and also like what things that they can build out for the Doge NFT community specifically, like actually hanging up the the Doge NFT and frame it for people to see. And then also like a bulletin board of all the Doge NFT memes that have been made. There's like a little DJ set right now in the temple, but that screen can also be used to broadcast calls or any other songs that we have. But if there's actually a good chance that maybe soon in the near future we could even hold calls there or meetings and use that screen as like the speaker screen. There just seems to be a lot of possibilities, and then even if it's possible that they want to build more things and can do it through our bark tank. Just seems like another layer of the metaverse that we can have a lot of fun with and pay our respects. And they're just like totally down for it, and they seem like really really cool people, and obviously love the message that Doge brings. So they seem like a great fit.
Yeah, such a cool experience. I dropped the link to it a couple times again. Very, very cool setup. So excited to see how that evolves and how we can kind of bring our community more in there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think it was just it was that epiphany of just having that call like in like in the metaverse, like on their table, was just like such a cool experience. And just how excited they are that we reached out, I think. And obviously like the art that they've made of like the different Doge priests and everything, it's just so cool. I think there's just a lot of potential. Yeah, so we're excited. Oh, and one other thing, I guess people are talking about the Poap right now. I checked, and the Poap website, I saw like Poaps weren't claimed, so it didn't reach a cap, even though it's telling you it did. And from what I've heard, like Poap itself is kind of down and experiencing issues. So really, I mean, the more information I can get about it, I can help you guys out. But right now, the the Poaps are safe.
No worries. We'll get it worked out. So what else do we have on the list here today? Paco, what we got? What we got for them? Talked a little bit about the Pleaser Retreat and the dog workshop. I guess maybe something else that I could speak to is update on hype. So we just had a short kickoff call yesterday, and ran through some ideas that they had for the community. They wanna refine them and bring them back to the community, get more feedback. A lot of them were really like interesting because they were like they just targeted a really large audience, like coming. And I think like what will be interesting is seeing more how they work through the creative development of each. Some like basically like looking at ideas and like how to like get a spot in the Louvre with the Doge NFT, or like creating some crazy ad that pre-runs up at the Super Bowl, or like doing kind of like crazy like pop-ups around the world, or like they had one other one that was kind of cool, is like creating the world's largest Doge. Like apparently right now there's a holder of like it's 17,000 square feet, and they want to like beat this in some crazy way. So I think they had some really interesting ideas around that. We gave them a lot of feedback. We had um, Zona and I and Jameis, the chief pleasing officer at Pleaser, on the call. So I think we got some good visibility to like the rest of the DAO over the past week about the dog project, as well as like, kind of like helping align hype in the right direction, and thinking about, how to keep Doge weird and wacky and absurd, and push it to like this next crazy level of virality. And I think they have some ideas around there that if like they can nail it with like the creative direction, that it could be pretty cool. And I'm also really excited. I mean, I think I was really, really happy in how like the proposal feedback process went. So I'm like looking forward to when they're ready to come back to the community and share some of these ideas and get more community feedback, where, I think we'll come to some better creations because of it. So stay tuned on that. They're working to get things set up and to a place where that they can come to the community and start sharing some of these ideas. Other things going on, Paco, you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Maybe one other quick thing is like, I know a lot of people have been talking about Snoop, the SnoopDAO recently. We've been monitoring it, right? Like, I think just as being a part of Pleaser, we're being cautious about not getting involved into DeFi projects just yet. We want to, but like this was something that was community led, and I think we have an idea of some of the people involved, and like, so, and like they're trustworthy people that like, are just trying to figure out like the best way forward for Snoop. It's like a super cool project. I think we'll just have to see how things flesh out over there. And as always, right? Like if anybody has like feedback or anything on anything at all that like affects dog holders, I mean, obviously we want to protect and support everyone that's a dog holder and in a part of the dog community. So you can always feel free to like message any of us with any feedback, things you see that are going on, Snoop and beyond, and just keep us in the loop of like, interesting projects and things that are created out in this like very, somewhat, wide and decentralized world where it's hard to keep track of everything. So we're always like trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on that affects dog holders. We also have like the fast food. So the fast food Doge, as you can see, some of us are sporting some of our fast food Doges. That collaboration is kind of starting to come to an end with like one final auction. And I don't know, Zona, maybe you know it best. Maybe do you want to speak to it?
Yeah. So from what I know, the Doga Lisa, the one of one PFP that is actually being sported by the Doge NFT Twitter account right now, that own the Doge Twitter account, is going to be the only. I think it's the last fast food Doge that isn't owned, and going to be the only one that's going to be auctioned. And from what I know, the auction should be starting tomorrow. Um, and we'll be able to host it so people can know that they can grab their Doge in this auction. And 100% of the proceeds are going to charity. I think we're still trying to finalize either um, you know which charity it's going to be, or if the auction winner can actually choose the auction, or choose where they want to send the proceeds to. That's that's on the giving block. I think we're just figuring out like the last small details about it, but I would say you would know more by tomorrow. But it's definitely going to be auctioned, and 100% of the proceeds are going to charity, which would be like a really cool way to kind of end. I would say end the collab, so to speak. Not really. The collab is still always going to be ongoing, as you know, because they're the Fast Food Friends team is going to add further utility to the Doges, and then if there's anything else that we may be able to have ideas on as well, that's where like the collaboration will still happen, and just finding ways to continue to bridge our community with theirs, and just and enjoying these PFPs. Well, it'll always stick around, but I would say probably a little bit more of the promo piece to the fast food doges that we've been blitzing really culminates to the Doga Lisa auction tomorrow that will run through the weekend.
Right on. Dope. If anyone's got a photo of it, they should drop it in the general chat. Be cool to see it.
What, the Doga Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is look at the on the Doge Twitter, and you'll see it as the PFP there. But
Right
yeah, it's from what it's a one of one. It's probably going to be the most rare of the whole collection, just because of obviously it's like status symbol as the Mona Lisa of the internet, and just a great homage to the Doge NFT. So yeah, I would say this is probably a very special one to pick up. And again, just the charitable angle behind it is right up our alley. And yeah, excited to see who is going to don the PFP once they win it, and and crown the new the new PFP owner on Twitter.
Do good every day. Other thing, I guess, is like we have the we have a new graphic for some of the Bark Tank updates. I'm going to drop. I don't know if you had it queued up, Zona, but I got it queued up for to drop it into the announcements channel. We're trying to find good way to like communicate the progress there. So we kind of our designer, wonderful designer, creative director of Pleaser, Spencer, put this together and gives a quick idea on some of the projects and like where they're at. We're open to feedback on that. I just dropped it in the announcements channel. And so, if anyone has like feedback or questions around some of the Bark Tank, we're trying to like, crank out as many community funded projects as possible. We got a bunch in the queue that we need to have calls and interview and bring forward and help them flesh it out a little bit. But these are some of the popular ones that are moving forward right now. It looks like we got a couple that are completed that were pretty lightweight. Like one of them is the PleasrDAO collab was like literally putting the Doge onto some of their pizzas as like a cheese topping. They've done a couple of them, or a couple of them have like dynamically or like been produced generatively already. Of course, the amazing people at like the Own the Doge NFT site, and like that they just gave away actually we should talk about that. Like they just did their $1 million dog giveaway. I think that just got processed, right, Zona?
Yeah, and they're like now looking at either the next giveaway they want to do, or some other just some other way to be able to interact with the community. I think everyone really loves the website, and that dog Jones index that they made was really cool too.
Yeah.
And that was even just a suggestion we had as just a joke. Like we just made it like, what if we did an index of all dog tokens, and you can kind of see how like any of them do against the benchmark, and they did it. So it's if anything, it's like if we can find any like cooler ideas that they can build on the website, like feel free to drop ideas and we can send it to them. Or they said that they'll start to try and be more active in the server and talk with the community members, but we can at least field some wacky ideas that maybe they'll be able to bring it live. I think that like as soon as I saw that they did the Dog Jones index, and that means like anything is possible with them to build. So the wackier you can think, the better, but something that kind of still fits the vibe of their website. Yeah, they've been really good with that. So I'm just excited to see like what else that they could build out, and and that we can share with the world.
Yeah, amazing team. Love those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's like when you look at that graphic, it's very, it's still very bite sized, which is what we wanted. We wanted people to be able to just kind of look everything high level. But for some of these, it has been taking a lot of time to build out, and with reason. When you look at the Doge NFT pixel portal, that one's probably going to be a huge project that we're super excited about. Was actually the first Bark Tank project that we approved. And since then they've been building hard and working hard at it. And so you can now see that like we are getting really close for it to go live. I think right now it's been greenlit to go through an audit. So when that happens, I think we'll probably start to see it go live. And when we do, we're going to drop a major announcement about it, and hopefully people are just going to find a lot of value, or just at least find it very entertaining to be able to have like a tangible ownership in the in the Doge NFT, which is going to be pretty fun to show off to your friends that you've got a pixel in your wallet in your OpenSea. So and then the fact that I think there's a lot of composability on top of it, and already them talking about their V2s and V3s of like the ideas we have is just it's going to be super fun. And then like the Doge boarding game still being in development. I think they just started building earlier this week, and they're going to start giving us a little bit more updates as what they're doing week in and week out. And if you guys feel like you'd find value in just seeing exactly where they're at instead of just a status bar, that graphic is just good to be able to look at something for 5 seconds to see where we're at. But if you want something more granular, we can definitely drop it in the Bark Tank channel for people to read.
Right on. Maybe I could talk to this next point. So I think we've talked about it a couple of times. I had to run a little bit early on I think the last couple of calls where Angel Protocol came on and talked about the other 500K that we had earmarked from the MISO auction to donate to charity. And that's where that initial 1 million from Save the Children came from like the Ethereum proceeds there from the auction. But we also have this other 500K. We have another 1 million to donate. I think we had 2 dog charities that we had earmarked for it, and we were going to give that through Angel Protocol and Giving Block. And then the other 500K that's sitting there, I think we were going to drop a snapshot here pretty soon, probably after the call, around voting for how we want to use that on Angel Protocol, or if we want to use it. Basically, the thought is that we can yield farm that 500K. We can basically let Angel Protocol manage it. I think they work with Olympus DAO in some way to like manage the yield farm. I think I don't know, I could be incorrect on that, but I think that's how they manage this side of it. And then they basically we can kind of direct as a community where to send that money, like on a, we can see how much that equals up on like a quarterly basis, but we'd be able to like pick where it would go. And they had some ideas. They had a climate kind of like that you can like either do it to an exact like an NGO or nonprofit, individual nonprofit, like a solo, or you can send it to like an index of nonprofits that fit a certain cause. And right now, I think they had a Restore Earth climate change fundraising campaign that like there's like a donation match on it. They had a few different options here that I think we'll include them all in the snapshot. And then, I think the thought would be like, it'd be kind of a cool way for the community to always be doing good and always being able to direct to whatever, charity or cause is like important at the moment, whether that's animal welfare, climate change, or other things that are going on, kind of like we did with Save the Children when there was the big pullout in Afghanistan and there was a lot of people left in the lurch. So I think it's a cool way to do it, and I think we'll look to the community to see like where we should direct those funds and how to utilize them.
So I think the next step is just getting that snapshot proposal, right?
Yeah, I think that'll be the next snapshot. I think we've talked about it for a couple weeks in a row, and just need to get a proposal up there so that we can vote. And we were gonna do like a different. We could probably keep like maybe we keep everything the same, like the settings the same for this one, but we'll have like multiple choice option on this one. Is that what you're saying, Zona? Right, Bubba? There was like
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it sounds like the way that they're doing is like through possibly like quadratic voting, where, because it's kind of, the proposal is kind of twofold, right? It's the one that's going to, I think it was called giving, what is something Earth. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. What was it?
Restore Earth.
Restore Earth, yes. So that's one where like half of the 500,000 left goes into a one-time donation to Restore Earth, and then the other proposal is then using the other 250,000 in perpetuity to be able to LP and then direct the the proceeds to whatever the community decides to vote on. So basically the proposal will be like, do you say yes to both, to none, to one, and not the other, and vice versa? I think is probably how it's going to be set up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if that wasn't clear, we'll make sure it's clear in the snapshot.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer when you read it.
All right. Well, I think we covered most of the things. Is there actually I did skip over something. Oh yeah, there's a couple of things that, along the lines of like realigning after the Pleaser retreat last week and trying to push our community forward in like the most wild and wacky and wonderful way. We wanted to start getting some meme competitions going again that, like maybe like every couple weeks having a different theme. And this next one, I think we're looking at the origins of Doge, and so I think it would be kind of cool is just like thinking about the origin story of Doge. I know Chef Coco had this riff where he was like, yeah, like and then they saw the Doge in the burning bush. And so I feel like there's like some kind of like cool, interpretations of how that could come to be, or like, oh yeah, Satoshi saw the Doge in the burning bush. So that will be like, I think we'll kind of put that together. But if you got your meme brain on, start thinking about how to depict the origin of Doge. Where did Doge come from in this kind of spiritual, higher being sort of way? And we'll get that set up and running here soon enough. And then along those lines too, we're also looking at Bark Tank proposals. Like, I think we're always open to any ideas that you have. We definitely have a lot of great ones we're sitting on right now to review for funding from the community fund. But we also were like, it'd be really interesting to see different like spiritual sacred relics and artifacts from and like people creating these, whether it's digital or IRL or finding ways to like create these to kind of tell the story and spread the gospel of Doge in this way. So we're looking at a proposal theme for next quarter, kind of kicking off the year, but by no means you have to wait. We definitely would take them sooner. Around that sort of idea of like these Doge sacred artifacts, like the Book of Doge, or like the Bible of Doge, or like the 10 Commandments of Doge, or maybe there's rites of passage or rituals. I don't know if people have been a part of TempleDAO, or that I just dropped this other new NFT project in the Temple of Dog called Clavis Angelicae. Probably butchering that name. That looks really cool, and there's like just kind of like, it'd be interesting what sort of, how could we like integrate some sort of like rite of passage so that is somebody a true Doge believer, and just other kind of artifacts or collabs with like the Doge Temple or Crypto Gods as a personal NFT project that I'm a fan of. So yeah, I think that'll be what we're thinking for a Bark Tank theme. And they can be small ideas, big ideas. I think there's a lot of different avenues that could go down.
Yeah, I think we just need to start building our Doge lore, because then I think it's going to be easier to have some of those wacky Bark Tank proposals or Bark Tank projects if we already kind of have a base layer of, just the Doge lore, and like now that we have the power to harness it, and why I think trying to have a more recurring cadence, or like at least a closer cadence of meme competitions is going to be fun, and fun for just community engagement, but also just their creativity too. Because I don't know if you guys knew that the last time we had that meme competition, that's how Dog is Backed was born. And also other narratives about holding pixels and like the Doge Citadel. A lot of it came from the community. A lot of it came from Paco, but also a lot of it came from the community too. And how I think 10% was saying like Paco built it, but 90% was the community embracing it and taking that in stride, and then building on top of that. So having these meme competitions with a theme around it will be able to spur that creativity, see what really sticks, see what we run with, and then see how we can build on top of it, and just kind of see how absurd we can get, because like we should just be able to parody everything, and that anything that goes on in like crypto or real world events, they go to the Doge NFT to see like how we're making fun of it, or just having being tongue in cheek about the world we live in, because that's what kind of Doge stands for, and just doing it in a way that's also wholesome, and just I think we can do a lot, and I think the community can do a lot. So I'm just excited to see if we can get a more regular occurrence of these meme comps with themes, and having like a decent prize package to incentivize it, and even just being able to like give out roles for meme comp winners, and using their designs for the next Poap. There's just a lot we can do. So yeah, pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I'm loving this idea in the general chat right now that Paco was saying, like burning NFTs, sacrificing NFTs to Doge. And then like I could just see like a page or like a idol of all these sacrifice NFTs that people like burned or sent to like a Doge address. That would be pretty cool.
They could be like martyrs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, great Bartek ideas, like create like the idol of Doge where we could like set with like a Ethereum wallet address where you could just send to burn and it'll just like display them at the foot of like the Doge Temple or something.
Oh yeah, like even display, right? Or just it's just a vault that will never open. Like the keys are just thrown away.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess which is essentially a burn address. But yeah, that sounds fun. And then I think even Paco had an idea of like when we have these competitions, having like a meme review where we go over the memes and discuss them in real time. But an angle of offering your memes to the Doge and whether the Doge accepts or rejects it or something. I think there's like something fun that can be done with that too. It's just the more absurd the better. And I think we have the ideas now. It's just being able to put them into practice, which I think we can get pretty close to doing soon.
Well, I think Paco, I don't know. I think we've kind of hit on everything. Is there maybe it's a good time for a Paco sermon?
I mean, I have nothing prepared specifically. I was hoping that maybe we could save all that for Sunday. Yeah. I mean, I can go right now, but
he's not ready.
I think you can keep the Sabbath holy.
Yeah.
Do it on Sunday.
The righteous will be glad when they are avenged, when they soak their feet in a pool of Dogecoin, dog money.
Dog money. I think you need to be on Sunday too, Doge King. I don't think you have a choice now.
Yeah, I was thinking about the etymological origins of Doge and how you could get very academic with it, and then you could also take it from like a religious or anthropomorphical perspective. There's a few different approaches that you could take, which would be pretty funny. You could have like the people that believe in like the scientific creation of Doge, then the religious creation of Doge, then the cultural creation of Doge. So you could almost have competing narratives so that it sounds like a more serious debate than it actually is. But I think that would get people's attention too, if there was some like argument between, where it came from.
Oh, so we're promoting a Doge holy war.
That's great. Exactly. You have like schisms, like you have like the Sunnis and the Shia of Dogecoin.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be fun. What kind of chapter are you in? And then it's just anything you say is heresy.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe one thing I want to say, on that topic of the origins of, the Doge meme itself. I don't know, guys, if you maybe followed the evolution of memes in general, but Doge came at a time and sort of, let's say if, the Renaissance, right, in the 17th century, basically, explored this idea of humanism and sort of opened all these new spheres from science to literature to philosophy. And I feel like, in a way, Doge, specifically, you can trace it back to Doge and the Doge meme. Also open up this new era of memes where, before, at the very start, especially, in the more general internet, where, of course, you would have very niche places where you could kind of log on and chat with people who were very, I guess, who spent all their time on the internet. But, at the start, it wasn't, the majority of people, I guess, in a way, didn't spend that much time on the internet. And when they did, they sort of, just did it to search for things, or and sometimes they would come around these memes, right? Which would, I guess, in the first viral memes, which would totally go mainstream, were the advice animals, where you would have, like a picture of a funny, relatable animal, a cat or a dog, and then a bottom text, a top text and bottom text, right? So you had like a structure. So the the lead and then the punchline on the bottom. But then sort of almost out of nowhere appeared this Doge picture, right? And sort of broke this template in maybe a very modernistic way, right? So you no longer had this top and bottom text. It was all, it was everywhere, and it was, colorful. And this kind of kickstarted the new genre of fully internet cultural memes, right? Where, if you showed a picture of the early memes, which would be these funny animals with top and bottom text, everyone in the entire world would find them relatable and laugh at them, and also funny. But then you have this new type of memes which only people with deep understand, I guess, who have spent a lot of time on the internet would find them funny, right? They're sort of I guess the humor is very specific to the internet itself, and Doge was the first image maybe which made this new type of memes sort of go viral, right? Because before there were, some niche, hard to understand memes, but Doge was actually the first one which actually also went kind of viral. And I'm talking about, the first instance of the Doge meme was, you would have like the actual Doge image, and then, text that would be sort of everywhere on the picture, and with bad grammar, right? So wow, wow, so cute, very dog, right? And that was extremely different than the usual templates that memes had back then, which were top text, bottom text. Now you didn't have a top, you didn't have a bottom. You sort of had this I guess inspiration as to what a meme can be, right? It doesn't need like a structure, and it definitely, at that time, 2013, right? I mean, Dogecoin was also created at that time, so that speaks a lot to how much impact it had, and yeah. So we definitely, I guess, what I'm trying to say, that Doge, many people just see it as like, oh, that's a meme character. I've seen it here and there, but I feel like unless you take time to read on it and just see how much actual cultural impact it has had, you don't really get the appreciation that maybe, I guess, most of us here have, right? And maybe the coolest thing is that in a way, we own it right now with the dog project, and we're trying to build something great around it. Because in a way, it's a symbol for memes, and it's a symbol for internet culture. And so I never know how to conclude. Anyways, don't know how.
Hey, I can maybe help you out with a quick follow up on that. I think one of the interesting things you were talking about was the kind of origins, right? Like how did this stuff start? I just wanted to reverse us a little further back in time and show you guys this dope ass graffiti that was carved into the pyramids. I don't know if you guys see what I just posted there, but this was like, when the pyramids were being constructed, there's a big debate around whether or not slaves were used or not. Well, regardless, the crews that would build the pyramids would go in and carve their own like little symbols to kind of flex to the other crews that were working on the pyramids. So the pyramids are full of this crazy graffiti. We could maybe look at like old graffiti and stuff and say, like, and kind of connect the dots, right? Essentially, it's like they're leaving their mark on something, i.e. pyramids, or for us on the internet, so that future generations can later go and see it. When they originally did it, and like when you, Paco, originally make a meme, you're kind of just trying to make your friends laugh, right? But that exists forever. So I think there's some interesting power behind what you were sharing there. Here's one more funny one I found. And this is kind of like graffiti porn from like 2,000, 3,000 years ago. So if you're into the older stuff, this is probably right up your alley. But just wanted to share that.
No, that's amazing. That's like the first recorded memes. Well, I guess cave, maybe even cavemen.
Yeah, we could go back. Then we could have a debate whether or not like the cavemen memes were original and whether or not the Egyptians came up with the Doge meme first. We could totally have a really pedantic and annoying debate about that, which would be pretty funny.
I would love that, because then, especially if it got to at some point where you realize it gets heated, and then you're like, "Oh wait, this is all about Doge," and then just laugh at the end.
That would be meta. That would be the meta part. Or like if you could like trick outsiders into thinking we're serious, that would almost be funnier. Like we host a Twitter Spaces where we have a debate, and we all know it's a joke, but we're like pumping it. So a bunch of random people are like, "Dude, these people are like fucking serious about dog money. Like, holy cow."
Yeah, I love the idea.
No. But then what? Then metas, and then we like we take the joke too far, and then it really is just our identity.
Yep, exactly. It's like when you're walking the line between people not knowing are they serious or not. That's when I think it's the funniest.
Yeah, anything with a hint of truth, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I think there's just like one or two other updates. It's almost like we always seem to have an internal clock that that the call is like for an hour and a half, and somehow like we always have to reach that. It's kind of crazy. But Jimmy, I don't know if you're there, but did you have any like news about the Poap raffle that happened with pool giveaway? Or can you shed any more light on that?
Yeah, so we generously got a gift this holiday season from the Pull Together team, mainly due to Leighton being a homie and also a member / Genesis member of PleasrDAO. So it was dope. It was a quick raffle because we needed to send out physical gifts by basically today, and it's kind of like around the world. And so, yeah. So what was it? So basically, it was two kind of like packages. I guess it's a little complicated to explain, but basically, it was pull together tickets, which are kind of like they're kind of like A tokens or C tokens if you guys are in DeFi at all. But basically, it's like it represents money that is staked into a protocol, and so they have something called PT tickets that represented, I think it was 20 USDC and one MAG. But so what does that mean? So basically, if you guys aren't familiar with Pool Together, you stake money, and basically every week they give money to the winner of whoever's staking. And so where do they get that money? So basically, when you put your money into this contract, a lot of people are putting it together, right? And so it's like this big pool. That's what they call it, Pool Together. And then they actually yield farm it. And so Pool Together V4 actually uses the Aave protocol for yield. And so at the end of the week, they see how much interest they got from pooling the funds together, and then they actually raffle out the winnings to whoever stakes the pool. And the winnings are decided proportionally based on how much you put into the pool, right? And so basically you can win money without risking anything, right? You can always just withdraw your initial funds using these PT tickets that represent how much funds you put in. So they call it a loss-free like raffle, or a loss-free like yield aggregator, which is like kind of interesting. And so that's Pool Together. And so basically it was a ticket again with 20 USDC, one Matic, and then there was this interesting thing that was a little complicated. But basically you can delegate your like pool power to another person in the pool. And so what happened was there's someone in Pool Together who's delegating about $100,000 of USDC into whatever, into the USDC pool, and they're actually giving it to the winner of this like bundle, right? And so you're basically instead of receiving just the 20 USDC with the one Matic, which is basically $22, you receive the $22, but you also receive the $100,000 of like winning power, right? And so said like TLDR, like you win a lot, you're more likely to win. Rather is probably the better saying. And so it was really generous of them to provide that to us, in addition to a fun physical Christmas card. So we picked 2 winners yesterday, and they have emailed me, and your cards will be going out shortly. Yeah, really cool stuff to be collabing with the broader crypto community.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea, and I'm just wondering, is that does Pool Together do that pretty often? Is there a chance that maybe things like this could be reserved for like the dog community or raffle in the future? Because I did really like the idea of not just these types of giveaways, but also the Poap raffle seems like a really cool idea. Where now people get to use the badges that they've claimed through going into community calls or being on the miso auction, and using that as like their ticket to win these lotteries. So even if it's not just for something like like this with the Pool Together giveaway, but maybe even other giveaways, we could maybe just use a Poap raffle. How was your experience with that? I mean, to me it looked really cool, and just another way to add a little bit of utility onto the I guess the proof of participation tokens. Just wondering like what we can kind of do with that in the future.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's like you kind of just enter in Poaps that are eligible for this raffle, and then after a certain time period, just like randomly selects an address that has it. So it's like if you have multiple Poaps, you're more likely to win, right? And so we selected about 15 eligible Poaps, and so it was the New York party, it was the miso auction, it was like I think we picked like 13 or so of the initial community calls that we've had. And so if you've been involved more in the community, we wanted to be able to reflect that in the weighting, right? And so it was pretty intuitive kind of stuff, and we wanted to reward people with like little surprise drops for being part of the community. and doing things like attending the community call. So yeah, definitely more stuff to come in that regard.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. Now it gives other people a reason to collect the Poap. So yeah, I think the community ended up really liking that angle. So excited to see how we can kind of do some giveaways through the Poap raffles again. So yeah, thanks for that explanation, and yeah, congratulations to the winners, and hopefully we can continue doing Poap raffles like this in the future. I think that may be it. I don't know if there's anything else on the agenda, but I know there's still an issue with claiming today's Poap, but I'll research it, get to the bottom of it. It doesn't look like any of them were claimed, so they should still be able to. Just as long as you have that secret phrase handy, then I'll do what I can to make sure that it gets opened, and we'll let you guys know. But just in case, we'll give you the secret phrase again for the poap.website / it's Doge meme god, which is all one word, lowercase. So keep that handy. Yeah, I'll work to see if Poap if it's a Poap issue or just the claim issue. But yeah, I'll work with the team to see if we can get that live, and when it is, I'll let you guys know, and you can use that secret phrase and you can get your Poap.
Well,
So I'm talking to the Poap team right now, and they said it should be up again. So don't take my word for it. I'm saying it before I verify.
Then we'll just trust then. Trust before verifying. We'll see what they say. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. If there's not anything else, I think we can wrap up the call. So thanks again for everyone. Yeah, for giving us your hour and 17 minutes of time for this call. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Wolf.
Woof, woof.
Doge.